Hi everyone, if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if not, then welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Freyleyce, and today's video is going to be my March TBR. I actually filmed this video twice now. I filmed it about a week ago, and I didn't like it because there was so little books on my TBR, because normally I have about 12, then I had like literally 8, and I'm like, what is wrong with this TBR? Why is there no books for me to read this month? And then in a few days since then, I've just realized like, oh, because I didn't include this book that's coming out, and then I realized this book was coming out, and so I just was like, I need to refilm this because this TBR is so much bigger now. Number one, it's literally doubled. I have 16 books on here, but also there's so many exciting books that I really want to talk about because I don't know why, but really exciting books coming out. So before we get into the video, I wanted to thank today's sponsor, which is the Oodie, and we're actually going to unpack this together on camera because I haven't worn this one yet. So we're going to do a wear test and an unboxing. The Oodie is a really popular hoodie and blanket brand that makes a large variety of sweater blankets. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm reading, comfort is a top priority for me. And these hoodie blankets are so perfect for comfort reading. I love wearing these in the winter because they're fuzzy inside, fuzzy on the outside too, but the inside, seriously guys, is unbeatable. It's super fuzzy and super warm, and it's so nice on your skin. They're literally perfect for readers, a must-have for sure, because they're just super comfortable and make your reading experience so much better. So anyway, thank you to the Oodie for sponsoring today's video. I seriously recommend all my fellow readers to get one of these. Even before the Oodie sent me this one, I already had one. I use it all the time in the winter, and it's so freaking comfortable. So if you want to get one, you can use my discount code, which I'll link down in the description. Thank you again to the Oodie for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into my TBR. So like I said, guys, 16 books, that's the most in a TBR I think I've like ever had. I think I can do it though because I'm really excited to read these books. So we'll start with the new releases that are coming. First one, That Sick Love by Jessie Hall. I love Jessie Hall. She's a new favorite author, and she's kind of been blowing up on Bookstagram mainly for her book Hawk. She kind of went in a different direction for this one because this is a dark romance, and I know it involves cults or religion, and it's a dark romance and the hero is a stalker. So that just sounds so good to me, and I'm very interested to see how she's gonna write it because the past two books that I read from her were very contemporary. I mean, they had drugs in them, so maybe not extremely contemporary, but they were still pretty contemporary, and so I'm very interested to see how she does that. I love the stalker trope, and I love like literally all the tropes on here, and the snippets I've seen of it sounds so good. I've seen others read it and they loved it, so I'm very excited to read it. So this one is coming out on March 3rd, and I'm 100% going to be reading it. Another one that's also coming at the beginning of this month is Lies of My Monster, which is book 2 in the Monster series, Monster Trilogy by Rena Kent. I totally also forgot about this one. Like, it wasn't even on my TBR, and that's because honestly she's been releasing these last few books really quickly. Like Blood of My Monster came in February, like middle of February. This one came like 3 weeks later, and then the next one is coming 4 weeks from now. So I don't know, I really like that. I appreciate that because last one had a huge ass cliffhanger, and the fact that we can get it sooner rather than later is lovely. So yeah, second book in a trilogy. It follows a heroine who's dressing up as a man in the mafia, and then the hero is like a army bratva Dawn. It's kind of confusing in that way because it was like government army and mafia army. I was a little confused. So yeah, like I said, huge ass cliffhanger at the end of that, and I really need to see that sorted out, and I'm very interested to see what direction she'll go because it's a trilogy, and I don't love trilogies about the same couple. I feel like I've said that so many times, but they're always hit or miss for me. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a big hit because I think it has a possibility to. I loved that last one. It was so addicting. Also coming this month is the 6th book in the Perfectly Imperfect series by Neva Altaj. I also forgot about this book until one of you guys mentioned it on one of my videos, and I was like, oh my god, that makes sense because I feel like I've seen it somewhere, but I didn't know the release date. And so yeah, it's on my TBR now. Thank you to the person who commented that. Book 6, I don't know much about it because I read the series like a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't remember too much about the world, and I like devoured that shit so fast that the details are really hazy. The blurb doesn't say too much about the book. It just seems like the heroine is stuck between a rock and a hard place. She can't go back to her family, and somehow she falls into the hands of the hero who cannot let her go. So I don't know, sounds really exciting. I'm definitely reading this like as soon as it comes out. I'm making this a priority because each book in the series has been really solid, and I'm hoping this one is too. Okay, next up, I want to talk about this one because I read the 4 series by Becca Steele in like 2021, I want to say, and I was obsessed with it. That was kind of the beginning of when I started reading, and I hadn't gotten into too much dark romance yet. So when I read The Four, which is a college romance series, I really fucking enjoyed it. And I don't know, that series still has just like a place in my heart because it's really memorable to me. So there's a hero in that one. His name is Zade, and he was like all fucking mysterious, so tortured, and such a brooding hero, and I still haven't forgotten about him. But we're finally getting his book, I think like 3-4 years later. So even though I haven't read that series in like 2 years, I definitely don't think I'd enjoy it that much anymore. I put this thing on my TBR because it seems like my kind of hero. I'm excited to see his brooding self again, and I hope this is good. I thought that this would be a duet for him, but it seems like it's just one book. It's the 6th book in this whole series, but I think his story might be one book. I don't know about that. I'm kind of hoping that we get more to it because I feel like it's a second chance romance, and with his broody self, like, it sounds so fucking good. So I'm really excited to read it. I think it comes out toward the end of March, and I'm totally picking that shit up. Another one that like is kind of surprising, but I think I want to read the Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. I think I actually started book 1. It has a blue cover, and the hero is Rowan and the heroine is Zara. I started that one, but I only got like 10% in because I found it kind of boring. I feel like I just need to push through that and get to the other books because apparently the other books are the better books. So I'm thinking about picking the series back up again. The reason why I wanted to read the 3rd one specifically, which is the most recent one, is because I saw that it was a childhood friends to lovers second chance, and I think I saw a snippet of what the heroine is like, and it just intrigued me so much. So that is the reason why this is on my TBR. I don't know if I'm gonna read the whole series because, like I said, I think I need to push through book 1, but I don't know if I want to push through book 1. I've been in like a sensitive reading spot. Sometimes stuff is super good and super fun to read, other times it's not. So I don't know, we'll have to see, but I might read the whole series. I might just read the 3rd one, I'm not sure, but it's very unlike me to read this, so I don't know if it's gonna stay on the TBR, but I kind of hope it does. Next, I want to read Medicine Man by Saffron A. Kent, and this is a little outside my comfort zone. It's between a psychiatrist, I think, because, oh my god, those P names and like doctors, I confuse them so much. Not even doctors in general, but like you have philanthropist, psychologist, physicist, like I confuse those all the time. So anyway, this one, it's between a doctor and his patient. I don't know how I feel about that. And I also just realized that. I don't know why, but I should have thought that Medicine Man meant something, but I didn't. So it seems a little forbidden, maybe even a little taboo. I think there's an age gap, but I'm trying to get outside my comfort zone. Also, I'm trying to do a rec video for forbidden and taboo. They're going to be 2 different videos, but if you guys have any recommendations for that, I would love to hear them because it's weirdly kind of hard to find some good ones that are like kind of out in a cover as well. So yeah, I want to read this, and I think I'll get to it, but I don't know how much I'll love it. I also want to read Ferreira by T.L. Swan. I read some T.L. Swan before, but you guys have consistently said like you need to read some T.L. Swan. So this one I think is a mafia romance, and that's kind of all I know about it. I love going into books blind, so like the least I know about it, the better. And the fact that I know nothing about this book is half intriguing and half kind of scary. So Ferreira, I want to read it, and I'll probably have to find more about it before I read it. I also want to read The Brit by Jodi Ellen Malpass. I'm just in a mafia mood recently, okay? I want to read everything mafia, and this is one of them. I read some Jodi Ellen Malpass before, and I really, really enjoyed it. I loved her writing, so I'm hoping that this series is going to be a smash hit. It's called the Unlawful Men series, and I think it's like 4 or 5 books. So yeah, want to get into this. I really want to read some new series this year. Like, it's a goal of mine to read series, so this is one of them. Another one is the Morally Questionable series by Veronica Lancet. I had started this one back in 2022, and I didn't finish it. I only got like 2 books in, and I just stopped because sometimes the author's writing is a little hard for me to like digest. She has a lot of plot in them, and like a lot of thought goes into these books, so I can't read them like back to back to back. But that being said, I do want to read this series. There's 4 books so far, and from what I've heard, the heroes are like unique, and I'm loving that. Like, when you read series, especially by certain authors, and I'm not going to call them out because like they put a lot of love into those books, but when you read series and the heroes kind of feel like copy and paste plus a few things, like it's not what I love reading. So I've seen snippets on her Instagram. The heroes seem like super different, and they all have their own little things, and I'm appreciative of that. So I want to read this. It's a dark romance. From what I can remember, there was like cannibalism in the first one, so it's dark romance. It was nice and steamy, and the written love story part, that was great. So I'm looking forward to it. I have all 4 of them on my TBR, so let's hope I get to them. I also want to read Force of Nature by Monica Walters. I literally just saw this on Goodreads Goodreads and then I put it on my TBR. I have no idea what it's about because there is no blurb on Goodreads, but it's here and I want to read it. Also, Deadly Gossip by Brittany Nicole. A friend messaged me and said I needed to read this. I saw it on a few other booktubers videos and I was just like, okay, I'm reading it. I think the heroine works in PR for Hollywood and the hero is a famous person in Hollywood, and I think they get involved or something. So like giving Forbidden, giving Scandal, and sounds kind of exciting. Lastly, I want to read Menace by J.M. Darhauer. The same friend messaged me and said I needed to read this. I don't know too much about it, but I think it is another mafia romance, and I'm a little nervous because I read one J.M. Darhauer book before and I really enjoyed it, and then 50% into the book it just like dropped off. The last half of the book was so different and not as good. Like the first bit I loved it, the last bit it made me kind of resent the book. So I'm a little nervous, but I think I can get to it. These are 16 books though, guys. Like I'm really hoping and praying that I get through all these. But I think I can. I have hope in myself. And it's kind of great that I have this many books because lately I've been feeling like I'm running out of books and it's an interesting feeling. So let's hope I can get through all these books and have a great reading month. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to the Oodie for sponsoring today's video. You can find their discount link in the description as well as all my links for Goodreads, Instagram, and email, stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great reading month and I'll see you in my next video very soon.